Hello, y'all. Welcome back
Hey
to
y'all.
another episode of Bravo
Hi.
While Black.
I know y'all hear that voice. Okay.
Mhm.
We got Miss Gabby from Winter House on Bravo While Black. We have been wanting to talk to this girl literally since we found out that she was on the show.
Yes.
Because you know our nosy ass, like we knew that she was on the show before they announced the cast.
Yeah.
Like we posted her and Andrea, and we were like, wait, they got a black girl. So
This is our time, y'all. Run out.
That's awesome. I love that for us.
Another black girl. I'm like, okay, we got some more visibility, okay. But she is a model. She's booked and busy. She's a business owner. She also was on America's Next Top Model, which we will get into it. So this resume is stacked, honey. And she just did a huge campaign for something near and dear to our hearts. I don't know if she wants to say it just yet.
I can talk about it.
Okay. So what was that campaign that you just booked?
So it was for the 50th year anniversary for Dark and Lovely. And honestly, the little baby girl inside of me was just like, she just lit up because I've been casted with them numerous of times, but as times are changing, I'm finally one of the first biracial people to ever work with Dark and Lovely. You know, I've always been too fair skinned, but it does show now that Black comes in every single shade. And it was honestly the best experience. I got to embody 5 huge icons. It's T-Boz, right? Before I butcher her name, T-Boz.
Yes.
I got to embody T-Boz with the haircut. I got to be Beyonce. It was like more in between like Olivia Pope and Aaliyah. It was kind of that Mariah Carey / Whitney Houston. And then I got to be the 70s girl. Don't know what character that was, but 70s.
Like, I'm so proud that you got to do this because it's not only like something that's near and dear to our hearts. Like, you know, we went from, as Black girls, we went from Just for Me. And then when you got to a certain age, you go to Dark and Lovely. And even to this day, my mom still does the Dark and Lovely perms, not super, because that takes the hair out. But she does the Dark and Lovely, like, dyeing too. So that brand has just been in our homes for forever, a long time.
Decades.
Decades. And now 50 years, like, that's a huge, like, anniversary. And obviously, you know, with the movement going on that is about visibility of Black women in general, because even though you might be a lighter shade, you still face, you know, what people of color face all the time. So I'm just so glad that you're able to be a part of that in addition to, you know, being on Bravo. But we want to know, what does Gabby do when she's not busy? Like, number one, where do you live? Because you be flying around everywhere. I don't know where
international superstar.
Exactly.
I'm based in New York. But Gabby's going to be in Miami a lot. I have 2 meetings tomorrow with an agency in Miami that wants to sign me and an agency in LA. So I'm going to have 3 homes now, guys.
I know that's right.
I'm excited about that. I'm just honestly, I think the thing is when you're hot, you have to keep the momentum going. And I'm like, right now, everything is happening. It's like, you don't stop and you don't get comfortable. You keep on going. And so that's just something. So I'm here in New York, going to be in Miami, going to be in LA, hopefully the UK at some point when COVID, you know, dies down.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Exactly. Oh my God. Okay. So New York, Miami, and LA for now, but where did you grow up?
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, the dirty St. Louis.
Ooh. Isn't that where Nelly's from?
Yeah, it's Nellyville.
Nelly.
Not you knowing fun facts about Nelly.
I know a lot about Nelly now.
I think we all
some things that I didn't know I was going to know about.
I mean, we all found that out. I was like, that's sad.
And so, okay, when you are not jet setting and filming and modeling and posing and eating the girls up, what do you do in your free time? Like, what do you do for fun? I know that you work out a lot. Like, you're very into fitness. But what else do you do?
So it's like, honestly, jack of many trades. I love writing. I do write in my spare time. I love reading. If you see my book collection, it's insane. Obviously, I love running. I love hanging out with my best friend. I'm pretty, and my cat, you know. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a pretty chill person when I have downtime because I don't get much downtime. So honestly, it's
Right.
just like resetting myself and recentering who I am. So reading and writing really centers me. So yeah.
Something that I really noticed about you specifically is that you are very into inspirational posts and like lifting people up and things like that. Like, what have you always been like that, or did something within you like get triggered and then you're like, you know what, let me spread this information, let me read about, you know, positivity, vibrations, all of the good stuff?
You know, it's, I think there are so many things. I think there's been traumas in my life. I think, you know, I am a mixed girl from St. Louis. That is extremely tough, consistently always being bullied. But my mom always, she lived by faith. And I was like, you know what I have gone through, I never want another human to endure or feel. I think I have the strength to go through many things many times again and endure not the kindness of people, but it's also showing an example that, you know what, there is one kind person out there, and it's at least giving someone hope that not all of us are assholes, you know.
Right.
And I think we need kindness. We need kindness. We need love. And you never know who you're helping. And that could be the day that you're saving someone's life. And I think that we really have to remember that despite everyone, we have flaws and we all fuck up. But, you know, we sharing a little kindness, it takes absolutely nothing except putting your ego aside. So.
Exactly.
I know that's right.
Because when I seen you do like the words of affirmation and you were making the notes, I'm like, that is so important because there's so many times throughout the day where it's like, I need that kind word. And even if you like create it yourself, it's like, and just remind yourself of these things. I feel like it can take you further along in your day and just create a more positive atmosphere.
Yeah, it definitely doing the words of affirmation and the quotes that I put up on the walls in Winter House. I was having a rough time to begin with, and I already knew coming in, being extremely introverted from the rest of the people, it was something that was going to help me get through it. And honestly, it was probably one of the best things I did because it was tough. It was really tough for me. So I think honestly, anyone can do that though. It really does. There's something about choosing a random note and then living vicariously through that note through the day. You really see how you're able to move, and it's like impacted in your subconscious. So
Right.
kind of
Exactly. So then speaking of Winter House, let's just get into it. Like, how did you get the opportunity to go to Winter House? Like, who invited you? I know on the show it said that you were a friend of a friend of a friend, but is that how it is? Did you get scouted, or did you hear of even Summer House before? When you heard about this project, what did you think? Like, just going in, how did you go into
of Summer House? I only watched a few episodes, like right when COVID hit, when I was living in Miami. So Julia brought me in the house, and that's kind of how I got into it. So I mean, I'm grateful for that part.
Okay, so being in the house, who would you say was like the most welcoming, other than obviously Julia, because she was your friend? But who did you get along with the most? Who did you click with the most?
Yeah.
In the house.
You know, it was funny. So, I mean, obviously it was taken out, but Kyle and I, we really did have a good bond. He was probably the one person when no one else was around where we were able to talk and have intellectual conversations. And I felt like he saw me from the rest of the people, you know, and it was a friendship, and I'm really grateful for that. I will say as time went on, Paige and Sierra here and there would check on me to see if I was okay, because it was rough. But between Kyle, Amanda, Paige, and Sierra, those are probably the ones that were the most welcoming to me at different points of being there, you know. So that was nice to have.
Okay. And what, like, when you entered the house, was there anybody that like you were worried about clashing with maybe, or you didn't think you were gonna get along with?
I didn't think I was going to get along with Paige. And honestly, I ended up absolutely loving her. But it's also how things can, you know, media, things get misconstrued.
Mhm.
And something that I saw in the media, I thought, I was like, oh, red flag for me. But honestly, extremely nice. I actually do like her. And, you know, when I got off the show, I had torn my ACL. She was the one person that reached out to me and said, if you need anything, I live down the street, I'll come help you. So honestly, that it was a huge turnaround for me. So I really have Paige sits up high compared to a lot of the people in the house because she did check on me even when we were out of the house and no one else did. So
That's so good to know that, you know, she's a good person on and off camera, because on camera, you know, she's a girl's girl.
Yeah.
But sometimes, you know, you don't know what people are like in person. So that's good to know that she reached out.
As individuals, I think everyone is absolutely amazing. I think when people come in groups and then, you know, you see different parts of people's personalities come out. But I think individually, she's probably my top favorite person.
Do you talk to her? Do you talk to anyone from the cast?
Luke checks on me. I talk to Luke here and there and things like that. Let's see. I talk to Paige here and there, ask me for advice. Every blue moon, I'll talk to Sierra. Jason and I were trying to link, but then I was busy. Then he was out of town. But that's for the most part. And here and there, Lindsay, just because I'll run into people that are huge fans of her. But there's only a small niche of people that I do talk to. But I think the ones that I do talk to are the most genuine ones. So
yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so let's just get into your storyline. Okay. We were introduced to you, you know, as Julia's friend. We got to see that you are, like the people were saying that you were kind of too introverted for the show. Like you didn't bring enough drama, but I feel like that's because of who you are. Like you're a calm human being who kind of like, you don't want to start shit just for the sake of starting shit.
You know what I will say is, I mean, a lot of things didn't make the cut. Because obviously Craig said I was hell bent on lighting the house on fire. But I think the thing is, since I was quiet, when I did open my mouth, it stirred the pot with everyone. But I'm a very honest, blunt person, and I don't mean any harm. But I think the thing is, when I don't have any friends in the house, because I didn't have a friend anymore after Julia, so I had no one in the house. So I kept to myself. But if someone asked me something regarding the people that I did know already in the house, I'd say something. And then everyone had their little friends and their little networks and things like that. And they'd go back and they'd gossip about what I said or whatever it was. So it just didn't make the edit.
It was a little bit cliquey when you weren't in a clique, you know, you weren't able to really like just show your personality.
And then it was, you know, one part I will say it was tough because I have a lot more guy friends than I do girls. The thing is, all the girls either are actually with someone in the house, dating someone, engaged, or they're exploring something. So it's kind of already like, okay, I don't mesh with girls that well. I get along with men so well, but then I have to walk on eggshells because if I'm seen hanging out with one of the guys that they're talking to, hell would break loose. So then it's just like you go back in your shell, and then it's like,
Gabby, you kind of can't.
Everyone's really watching me, and I felt like I couldn't be me at all, and I don't think that was fair. So I don't know. People really, I felt had it after me.
Okay, and I know that Amanda and Kyle got married. Yeah. Like we're seeing the road to that. But on Winter House, there was a preview where it was like Kyle is flirting with Gabby. Was that taken out of context or? Was there like a
I probably took it
situation?
out of context, but same time, I don't really care. He told me that I had the best butt in the house. So I don't know anyone yet. So obviously I'm like, you know,
Off put because he's engaged.
I was
So,
like, oh, okay, but like that's Kyle. And I know that, and
mhm.
I love him. He's a really good guy, but that was what it was. I had the best butt in the house. Which thing?
I was like, because they
was
made
just
it
telling the
such a
Yeah, I know. I
exactly
was like,
like,
thank
girl,
you. I was
like,
like, oh, I
hello,
do.
And I
like,
feel like,
listen,
it's Winter House, and the point is for everybody to get together. People who wouldn't normally click up. It's like, regardless,
Yeah.
I don't even know why they would use that, because I feel like if you're
right.
engaged and if you're that concerned about your relationship, then don't be on a show like this.
Yeah.
Or don't say that, you know, because even on Summer House, you can see him kind of, I wouldn't say flirting, but saying things that I wouldn't be comfortable with someone that I'm engaged to saying to someone else, like when they were talking about in a recent episode how, you know, one girl was hooking up with a girl, Lindsay was talking about how she hooked up with girls, and Kyle is like, oh my God, I'm so hard or whatever. And I get that's like in his personality. So
Yeah.
it's like, if you are mic'd
You have to
and
know
you're
what
being,
you're getting into. I think you know what? I would probably be the best relationship guru, because the thing is, and I don't think people realize, is people are people. You have to be an absolute idiot to think that you're not going to find someone else attractive. It's what you do after that is the
right.
problem. But also, it also falls on a partner. If you know how your partner is, doesn't that fall on you because you're accepting it and you accepted it for too long? And so guess what? Now you can't retrain someone that you've been with for so long. So it takes two to tango. So I think that it falls on two people as individuals to choose what I'm going to tolerate, what I'm not going to tolerate. And if you cannot deal with it, get out of the kitchen.
I know that's right.
Amen.
A word.
And this is why I get in trouble, because I speak my mind.
No, but that's the thing. Like, that's the truth, because we're not just, this is not like a specific, like a situation where that's only happened.
I mean, this is in general in life, I think.
One show. This is like actual, like real life.
It's you're gonna be attracted to other people. You can chat with other people. It's what you do beyond that is when you know you have to learn to draw the line. And then also it's putting up boundaries with your partner. If you continue to keep tolerating something with your partner, no shit, they're not going to respect it because they know they can do it again. Right. So
exactly. And it turns out, you know what? They're fine with it because they got married anyway. So it is what it is. You know?
And we've been telling her anyway. I know I've been telling her.
So from Winter House, I know you guys did some activities, but a lot of things didn't make the show. Like, what are some activities that you did, like winter activities that didn't make the show that you had fun in? Or is there something that you wish that they would have shown about you personally?
You know, I got to take everyone dog sledding, but it didn't make it. And honestly, I love animals, and it was something for me to be one with nature and just really, you know, it was good for me to mentally reset. And it was like about 6 of us, and we had a good time. It was fun, beautiful dogs. Didn't make it, but
yeah, that would have been fun to see.
I just didn't make it, and
yeah. Was that your first time going to Vermont?
Yeah, and honestly, it was. I mean, it was on my bucket list to go to Vermont, be in a log cabin, drink red wine by like the fireplace. Instead, it was more like drinking red wine, crying by the fireplace. But
listen, as long as you was drinking red wine in Vermont, you could check that off your list, child.
I sure did.
And then you got to do it for free. So you know what?
Exactly. Honestly, it's crossed off. Tried to build a snowman, it didn't work out. But yeah,
so do you have any like business ventures that you're working on, or are you like, is your model life is your focus right now?
I'm actually getting into acting. I've been acting, but I actually got a few scripts for some big roles, so I'm really excited about that. Right. I would say in 6 months you need to bring me back on, because really something really exciting, which I will tell you guys off screen, is happening.
Yeah.
But what else is happening? I'm starting a podcast. It's called The Gift of Gab.
Ooh. Oh, I love it.
So we'll have to do like a whole nother thing.
Of course.
Yeah. So honestly, it's like getting more. So it's like signing with LA and Miami because I'm trying to get more onto the film side. I guess the thing with like, being in a house, having housemates and things like that, having the world to see. I love acting. I can be anyone you want me to be. But when it comes to being me, I'm never going to not fake the funk of who I am. So I like being able to, with acting, portray someone else because people know it's not me. So
yeah, you just can't fake it. You're a real bitch.
Because it's not in my core to lie to myself about being something that I'm not.
So do you think you would like ever do reality TV again or something like Winter House again?
Were you like invited to Summer House and Winter House too?
No. I mean, from what I know, no. But I would never knock it. I am honestly grateful for the opportunity I had. I met a lot of wonderful, beautiful people. They all have a different place in my heart. I would do it again, and I would have loved to do it again because I would have loved to go back and people really get to finally, they saw that I'm an introvert, but in different circumstances, I'm actually really goofy and like wild and carefree. It was a lot. You lose your friend, and I had to walk away from that. So I already feel like I'm walking on eggshells. I would love to go back. Honestly, I fucking would love to go back. I just, maybe it's not for me.
Speak it into existence. Like they're filming Winter House 2. They're filming Winter House 2 on Friday, I think, starting. So when this episode comes out, they'll be filming. But since it seems to be like a recurring thing, maybe you'll get invited to Summer House or to Winter House 3.
I hope so.
Honestly, I would love to be in a bikini and me tan with freckles.
Summer House.
Mm-hmm. The cutest
in the Hamptons. In the Hamptons, honey. But honestly, you might be too booked and busy to even do that because you have so many things going on between getting signed to Miami and LA, and then you're going to have your podcast and then your acting roles. It's like you might not have time to even fuck with them. Like that might have been just.
I mean, I would make time. You know what? I think the thing is, I would like people to see me in more of. I think what the thing is. Even with people, sometimes either you really love me on spot, or it takes time for people to warm up and really love me. And I think that's also how it would be seen. Is like, okay, Gab, she's there, she's shy. Well, actually, I'm not shy. I'm just in my own lane. I would like to go back and let people see the fun side of me, but fair. I am accepting that you have to just flow, and whatever does come next, I'm accepting it. It doesn't happen. It wasn't supposed to. So.
Right.
Amen. So this wasn't your first reality show, though.
No.
The people needs to know that you were on like the OG, triple OG, iconic reality show.
You want to be on top?
We want to be on top. You were on America's Next Top Model, and I just want to know, like, when you were a child, what did you think that you were going to grow up to be, and like, how did you find modeling, or was America's Next Top Model the thing that got you into modeling?
Guys, want to hear a crazy story? How I got cast for top model? So my girlfriend, So anyway, backtrack is my granny used to always say, she's like, you're Miss America. Like, there's just something about you. You're going to change the world. You're going to be somewhere in the media. And I always knew I wanted to act. I wanted to be on camera. I used to want to sing because I'm obsessed with Toni Braxton. So that's what got me.
Me too. Us too. Like we went to a Toni Braxton concert together. Like with my mom.
You guys, you have to be at my wedding.
Toni Braxton.
Toni Braxton has to be at my wedding. Okay. Okay, so how I got casted for Top Model. So my girlfriend was like, she stayed in the outskirts of St. Louis, 2 hours out. She goes, Gabby, can I come to St. Louis and stay with you and go to this casting for Top Model? And I said, yeah, for sure. Then she goes, a night before, you should come too. And so I said, all right, I'll audition. Didn't really care, but I was like, I'll go audition. And so I go and audition, and I'm meeting with all the directors and everything. And they're just like, what makes you want to be a on top model? And I go, well, I'm a chameleon. And I'm just very nonchalant about it. But I was like, I can be whatever you want me to be. And so obviously it's like 6 months of like casting. So this is like July. No, this is like June. I get a call in July. They're like, we need you in Chicago this weekend. You made the second cut. And so I'm like, okay, I go. And this is before there's more cuts to go. And so I'm meeting with the casting director. I think her name's Danielle. And she goes, they call all these numbers out. My number wasn't called. And I was like number 69. So it's like, oh, I guess mom, we're going. Like, they didn't call my number. I guess I didn't make it to the next level. The PA, I'm in the elevator. The PA puts his foot in the door and he goes, is number 69 here? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, you were actually the only girl we wanted. And it was like, honestly, it was so surreal. If I would have went down in that elevator, never would have gone. But I was the only girl in that room that they wanted. And there was like thousands of girls after the second casting. So it was kind of like, so 6'9" has always been like one of my favorite numbers because it's always been my good luck number. It's weird.
I like 6'9" too for a very good.
We love that for us. But yeah, so that's honestly, that's like the quick version is my girlfriend didn't make it and I ended up making it.
It's like kismet almost, you know, like you weren't even planning to go. And then on top of that, you almost missed your chance and you were the only one. So it's like, what's meant for you is always going to come to you.
Exactly.
And that's what we learn every single, in every single aspect of our lives, whether it's relationships, whether it's career-wise, whether it's, you know, whatever you want to do, like what's meant for you is already there for you, whether you believe in God or the universe, like everything that you are meant to go through is already like laid out and it comes.
Accepting it. Like you just got to accept that, you know what, maybe not this time. Guess what? That doesn't mean you cry, you sit back and say that I can't do anything in you. You find another door. You find someone else that says, I see you, we're going to turn you into something. Like there's always something more. And if you have to stay positive and trust your journey, and you will never be mad. If things will always continue.
I need you on your Gift of Gabby podcast to have, I don't know what it's going to be about, but I need like little 5-minute inspirational talks for everyone because I need to hear
all about it's storytelling because I am really good at storytelling. So the Gift of Gab is about, I have my entire career have had high profile friends in high places and I've always held them, you know, I've never slept with them or anything. And I've always just built respect and rapport. So when I go around, people are like, yeah, Gabby, we love her. So the story is all my friends and people in this industry, I want to take them and story tell. So like, you know, you can take like Shaq or Neo or any of these people and you say, how did you start? You know, you want to, like I said, I like to inspire people. So for those kids that look like us, that, you know, don't think that they're made for anything, I want to give my people and humans all around that chance to say that, you know what, he started from this too. He didn't have anything, you know, and not even a person believe in. He created this journey. So I want to tell the people's stories to inspire more people to be bigger and better and believe that they can do these. So that's what the Gift of Gab is about. Storytelling to inspire more people to achieve their dreams. That's what it is.
I love that. Oh my God. I can't wait until I can't wait until it comes out because there's just so much negativity in the world. And it's not even sometimes people doing it on purpose. It's just like life and like where we're at post 2020, post pandemic, post Donald Trump. Like sometimes things are not.
I think a lot of us have
negative on purpose
in our souls because of a lot of the things that we've endured. You know, the world stopped. I mean, not just a city, the world stopped. People lost their jobs, lost their homes, you know,
lost family. Like,
I mean, numerous of people lost family members back to back to back. And, you know, you want to give people hope. Like, you need more hope. And maybe that'll knock one chip off of somebody's shoulder.
Yeah, that's what I always feel like, you know, with Bravo Wild Black, even the page or the podcast is like, if we can even make one person feel seen or make one person's day, we've done something because
You guys,
yeah, like all we
Bravo Wild Black. I mean, that's compliment. You guys having Bravo Wild Black, and like when you guys first reach out to me, it made me feel seen. Like feeling part of a community, because we don't have many Black Bravo fan base. You know,
exactly.
so it's a safe place for women of color, mostly women of color, because most women are on Bravo. But you gave us a safe place, and I think we need that. And then honestly, having this base that you guys built gets more colored people to even watch Bravo. So
exactly.
you guys are doing good.
Oh, thank you. Because we sometimes we're just like, well, fuck, like, because Bravo does some things sometimes where we're just like, okay, how are we going to continue to support this network that has this person on it that did this certain thing? But then we rewind and we go back to, okay, well, why did we make this? Oh, so we can speak out on these things. 100%. And so we can support the people of color who are on the network. Yeah. So that's how we kind of explain it when people are like, oh, but they still have Ramona, they still have this person, they still have that person on. And we're like, you know what, that's true, but at the same time, people like the Real Housewives of Atlanta, the Real Housewives of Potomac, Garcelle on Beverly Hills, like we want to be able to show up for these people that are on there. So that is what we set out to do.
Voices may not, what I've realized is sometimes your voice may not be heard. Sometimes, it gets brushed under the rug, but doesn't mean you ever stop. And for you guys keep going, because sometimes it may feel like, why am I doing this? You're doing it for people like us. And there's going to be another girl, another guy to come on, and they're going to need a safe space. And you guys are doing that. And you guys are actually a safe space for anyone in any kind of genre in this whole acting reality world. So, and we need that. So,
and our other thing is we really just want to like make people laugh, because we are ignorant. Okay, so we just wanted to make people laugh in addition to, getting all those things out. But okay, so I do have something that I want to talk to you about with America's Next Top Model, because it's like Tyra Banks is just the penultimate like woman. Like, she was a model, she's an actress, she had her own talk show. And I understand that some of the things on the show were traumatizing for people who were on the show. But then I also feel like we're looking back 20 years ago when things were a lot different. And in addition to that, people who don't understand the industry don't understand that models are really put in intense situations. Like, y'all don't just show up and just fucking look pretty. Y'all be out there in weather and different kinds of like elements.
I mean, it's like a lot of things, the people you work with, the kind of characters you work with. I think,
what do you think about the blowback about like American?
You know what I have to say? It's like, you could even say for Winter House or anything. When you get on these things, you know what you sign up for. Sometimes it may not go your way, but at the end of the day, we knew what we signed up for. I knew when I signed that contract what I was getting into with Top Model. I mean, I watched it as a child. And obviously there's certain things that go on behind the scenes, but you know what? I'm grateful for the opportunity. I will never bite the hand that fed me and gave me any chance. And I think in this world, we lack a lot of gratitude. You know what? She gave a lot of people platforms, and a lot of people with those platforms have spat down on her. But let me tell you, why did you go on the show then if you're going to go shit on her? That's how I feel. Don't do that. Like, all these people wanted to be on it because of who Tyra was, and yet it's like, I don't know.
Then if they didn't go through that bad experience, they would love
they would have been like, they would have praised Tyra, but because you didn't win, you're a sore loser. And I think that's just character conflicts within themselves.
Yeah, I think that's also what Eva said, Eva Marcel, because obviously she was like the first winner or whatever. So she was saying the same exact thing. It's like, Tyra put us on. So
how can you
could have, when you shaved your head or when you were forced to do this, you could have literally just said no
and walked out.
I mean, she also like, you know what the thing is also, we were picked the way we look, but also because we had certain personality characters. You know, when I walk down the street and someone recognizes me from being on Top Model, and they'll say, Gabs, you've inspired me for this such and such reason. You know what? Tyra gave me a platform, girls like me, and I've been able to inspire, even if it's only a few, you inspire some. I didn't make it all the way through. I'm still grateful that I ever was even thought to be that good in her eyes, you know? So
yeah. And it's like crazy because this is like a Black woman who's overcome so much in the industry and she decided to like give back. You know, like just to be a Black woman is hard, but to be a Black woman in the modeling industry is just like a whole, like, you know, like it's a whole nother monster. So I understand that people feel a certain way about it, but at the same time, like she, you know, did what she needed to do.
She had to do, and under business circumstances, that's how it had to be. And also, we're on TV; things work differently, you know.
Right.
Scenes, so it had to be the way that it was. So
right, and then there's also the factor, like since we're just talking about like TV in general, like there's production, there's story maps, like there's people. I'm not going to say that she's a figurehead, like she's very involved in it, but it's like not just her.
Ken Mock is Top Model producer. Even when I went to what is it? Not TLC, the other now MTV. When I went to MTV, Ken Mock still produced it. I don't know why people slap Tyra. There's people behind the scenes helping her create this establishment.
Mm-hmm.
And smack the entire industry. Then don't slap her, smack everyone. You know, so whatever.
Exactly.
People are gonna talk.
People gonna talk, child. That's one thing people gonna do. But the thing is, when you go back and you watch, I say it like every sentence. When you watch America's Next Top Model, it's just as iconic as it was back in the day. I'm sorry, like.
Yo, it's actually even better watching it as an adult. Can I just say, I had the worst accent. I was so country. My accent was so country. I was like, I should never open my mouth. It's so bad. I'm so happy.
Listen, we don't even think twice about it because our moms are Southern as hell.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom's from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny. So is there anything before we get into our little, like, we don't really do recaps, we do commentary, but is there anything that you want to clear up about the Windsor House situation between you and Julia? Like, because they made it seem like you were kind of jealous that Julia was flirting with Luke, and it was just, I don't know. Is there anything that you would like to say about that?
Yeah, I do. So the thing is, it was, liked Luke, woohoo. That's been faded. But the thing is, it was never about Luke, and I wish people knew that it was never about him. It is a trust factor when you have a friend that has continuously hurt you and put you in uncomfortable positions. You get to a point where you say, you know what, I'm done. And it's just sad. It happened on our winter vacation that I said, I'm done with you. So I can see why everyone thinks that it's jealousy. No, because I can get another blonde hair, blue-eyed guy. Like, it's not about him. It was just pure fun entertainment to have someone to connect with. But I don't do well with betrayal. And when you hurt me, I dead you. There's no coming back from me. And that's it.
Especially when you're giving someone so many chances, and it's like we're also like on TV, so it's like you're making me seem a certain way, and it's literally about the friendship, you know, like it's about the friendship. So when someone
I mean, you know, it's like you can hear the feedback from fans, like so many people were just like, Gabs, I feel you on this, like no one wants to be Julia or something like that, but it's like a lot of people, and then some people obviously were like, no, she's jealous. So everyone does read it different ways, and that's okay. But end of the day, I know how I felt about it, and I don't do well with someone hurting me. So
And you shouldn't have to deal with that, like, at all.
I just wish you could control your own narrative a little bit more with reality TV. And it sucks that they like cut the scenes and make scenes seem a certain way to like boost ratings or make other people look good, like the fan favorites and stuff like that. And they don't really take into consideration that after the show airs, like you have to deal with this because people think this is who you are, like, and they don't even realize like you're completely different from this. I will call it a character because I feel like they don't show all aspects of people. They just only show certain scenes that would boost ratings.
I mean 100%. I don't know. I mean, I definitely think people thought that they could toy with me. Because I am very kind, but also with my kindness, I will cut you off in an instant. And so I don't know. So maybe, I don't know. And honestly, I guess, it's taken me a year to look back on everything and say, you know what? I did my best in the position that I was put in. Right. And I am okay with how people perceive me because I do know I have to go to bed alone. And I do like me at the end of the day, what everyone else thinks, it cannot matter because it will only hurt me more. And I want to continue being great and continue being better. And I'll never be better if I continue to hoard all of that hate and pain in my heart. So just when you're done, you're done.
It's all about whether you can live with yourself at the end of the day, like you just said, and you can. And I feel like if I was in that same situation, I would be mad too. Like, it's literally not about the guy. It's about, you don't try me one too many times and then you're about to try me again. So I'm going to cut you off. Like,
I think this shit is cute at that.
So it's like, I could seem like a hater, but would you want a dishonest friend? Would you want someone that knows?
It was weird also because she had a boyfriend. So that was my whole thing. It's just that, why are you so comfortable, like, dancing and all that stuff? Hey, you got a man.
You blame it on me that Gabby's watching everywhere. I'm in my room. Right. How am I watching? I'm in my room because you cornered me into my room.
And it's not even about that. It was just it was like girl code, I feel. And
it's
her
just,
being like
that,
your friend. Yeah.
It's just some things you just don't do to people. And I guess I'm the only one with the sense of moral code. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I feel like you were perceived great because I enjoyed your character, you on the show. I loved you.
Like the most relatable person.
I think that's what America needs. I think America needs people. That's why I would love to go back. I think so many people like, I don't want to be a person that someone cannot relate to. I want that person to be like, I feel you. You're like me. That girl's just like me. I think it's inspiring. Drama and fun drama and all that. It's fun. It's entertaining. But what about the person that you can look up to? But
exactly,
it's just not for that,
Exactly, but you know what? The good thing about it is that at the end of the day, even though it may not have been the best story edit, we did have some good times with you. You did seem like you wanted to be fun. And then we also just got to know you, over social media. So if you never would have did that, then this never would have happened. So I'm just grateful that you were on there and we know the real tea behind, certain things. And it's just great to have this conversation. So I do have a question for you. Do you watch Bravo or do you watch any TV like in general, or do you not have time to watch TV?
When I do have time, I like obviously Bridgerton. That was cute.
Ooh, child, next month.
It's like March 7th or something. Or 17th. What else? I like that show, Abby Downton. I feel like I was supposed to live in like the 17th, 18th century. So I really love these old regal, like British movies and shows. I mean, honestly, that's what I watch, or I like watch The Good Doctor, or like Good Girls and things like that. New Amsterdam, that's kind of my vibe.
Oh, you're very much an NBC girl, or like
it.
a Fox girl.
Yeah, because I'm like all those shows
girl.
are kind of like
prime time. It's prime time.
A prime time girl, not just like streaming and like.
I don't watch much
cable.
reality, but sometimes I'll binge. Like if there's nothing going on, like during COVID, I would start binging on reality shows because it's pure entertainment when you can't have entertainment going on around you.
So, okay, so do you know the general conversation around Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? Just like everything that's been going on with Jenny, who they fired for
that whole situation
being racist, like just straight up racist. It was
absolutely distasteful of her to make a video, the apology video. It made it worse, and it just showed how much of a bigot you are.
Yeah.
And some things you just cannot clean up, and something like that not to say that she won't be able to reinvent herself, but I highly doubt, unless she stays in her vicinity.
She's gonna go to like a conservative channel. Like it's very much whatever if she wants to go on Fox News, that's where she'll be welcome. But Real Housewives of Salt Lake City just aired their finale. It feels like it's been 8 years of like in one season.
Can we I was about to say, can we admit that episode was not needed?
Okay, yeah, the finale was so unnecessary.
I want to be on Real Housewives of Potomac.
Right? Like they get shit popping.
I feel like I would jive with them. First of all, I like older men, and all of them, like what's her name? Ashley with the older white man.
Yes, Ashley Darby. We had her on. She was a good time.
What did she do? She handed him the prenup or something about signing it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and then they didn't.
Ashley, because most men I date are like 20 years older. So I think, yeah.
You would be on Potomac, basically. I feel like you and Ashley would definitely get along, and you would also relate, except Ashley, like both of you guys are mixed, but Ashley has a black mom and a white dad. You have a white mom and a black dad, but either way, you guys relate into that same experience. So
I feel like it would be Ashley, Karen, and Gabby. Like
I know
the new Holy Trinity.
I watched it and I was like, I think this is the only one that I'm gonna watch of Housewives, because I felt like I could see myself in that.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into the Salt Lake City finale, just give our thoughts, and then give MVP of the season. The finale, we have Heather Gay finally having like a memorial for her father, who unfortunately passed during COVID, and she was explaining that since she got out of Mormonism, her father did not approve of that. Really? And meanwhile, we had Jen Shah. Okay, Jen Shah's trial is next month, so I'm like shaking in my boots. I don't know if this woman is going down. Every time I talk to someone, they think that she will be going to jail because it just doesn't look good. Everyone in the case around her has pleaded guilty and, been sentenced to however many years. Like people got 8 years.
I feel like the housewives always get out of their shit. I don't know.
I hope so. But everyone that I talk to that is like the Bravo lawyers, or people that are lawyers that watch Bravo DM us, and they're like, this is really like not good, because everyone around her has pleaded guilty. So now she looks like the ringleader. And the person, Stuart, who was her assistant, it's rumored that he's flipped and he's going to tell everything about the alleged operation. But in the finale, we see her packing up her huge house to move into, like, I think she said it was just like a 4,000 square foot house. And I'm like, okay, girl, like I'm living in like, what is this, like an 800 foot house? Like, it's not even a house. I live in an apartment, a Florida apartment. But I guess, child. But she just coming to terms with that. Lisa is basically launching what was that party about? That 80s party? It was for Vita Tequila, the special bottles, and that
I love
tequila
it.
is I love it. Like that tequila is slamming, y'all. But she had an 80s party and she invited all of the housewives to the party. And at the party, Whitney confronted Mary just about her talking about Mary's church, which is alleged to have been a cult. But she claimed that she wanted to apologize to Mary, but instead of like apologizing, it was just her drunkenly rambling on. And then Jenny, the racist lady, got into the conversation and tried to make it about her because she feels that Mary wasn't trying to see her. What I just don't like about that situation is that no one had Mary's back. And I understand that Mary has said some very offensive things that she's apologized for. Right. But if Meredith, if Whitney, if these people are trying to be her friend and trying to apologize, they should have had her back when Jenny came at her. And as Mary was walking away, Jenny literally threw a glass. And that was just completely unwarranted.
That's foul.
No one said anything. And she was just like, it's very clear that like none of these women are my friends.
My friend. If someone throws a glass at my best friend Leah, your hair's coming out.
It's on and popping.
I mean, like, no, you don't touch my people. Those are like, when I choose you, I choose you. But to let that happen and go down, no.
Exactly. So we see Mary lead the party, and this is before everything was exposed about Jenny. You know, this was taped months and months ago, even. But it was very interesting to watch Jenny's reaction to Mary and how she was accusing Mary of all of these things, for all of her bullshit to come out, the horrible things that she said, right, and her to deflect and say that she wasn't throwing it at Mary, she just threw the glass on the floor, which is like, if someone is walking away from you and disengaging, why the fuck are you throwing shit anyway?
She sounds like a liar.
So I have a question too. Would she have been like, I know she said the racist ass shit and then she did that stupid apology video, but aside from that, would she have gotten kicked off of the show for throwing that glass?
I don't think that's what I want to know.
Because they were definitely all in Monique's ass, and they were definitely all in Monique and Candace's ass when that whole thing happened. And they're talking about how Bravo doesn't tolerate like all this shit, but it's like,
they don't tolerate
with that
violence or co-signing violence or racism, but they have not made statements about certain things, but they quickly make statements about Kenya, who apologized for
I just find that
Native American gear. But let me answer that. They absolutely would not have fired her because she was filming when all this broke. So the rumor is that we may see on the reunion the ladies confront her about her post, and we may see her get fired. Well, not get fired, but we may see the last conversation with Jenny. So it just goes to show.
Go on there. I don't know. For her, everything that she's done, to agree to go get shitted on again at a reunion.
Exactly. I don't blame Mary for not showing up.
Where you have a great therapist coaching you to tell you to go back.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, Mary should have just showed up to the reunion, but it would have just been Jenny talking about how offensive Mary was. Little did we know that Jenny was literally
doing all this shit.
All this shit, exactly, that came out. And you know what really pissed me off is just that during the finale, everything that Jenny was saying was just, I don't know, it just really irked me, just knowing the kind of person that she is. But I would have been annoyed with her regardless of if this came out or not, because she just seemed like she wanted a moment so bad. So I don't really understand why they decided that she should be on the third season, which is filming now, because she has no charisma, no storyline, no talent, anything. Really, it was just her following Mary. So I'm wondering what she would have even brought to the third season.
Nothing.
Yeah.
What, the sister wife storyline again?
Right. That's the only storyline that she had, is just that her husband wanted another wife. And I'm just like, either y'all get another wife or y'all don't. Like, that's it. Like, it's very simple. I can't. It was so boring. But the finale, to me, it was boring. I like Lisa's dress, and what I didn't like is that Lisa didn't stand up for Mary. She was like, you know what, throw more shit. Like, I understand that her and Mary were in a rift or whatever, but you shouldn't egg on Jenny to throw shit at someone who was literally disengaging. And another thing that happened was that they talked to Meredith, who, I don't know if you, Gabby, you saw the hot mic moment of Lisa where her and Meredith have been friends for 10 years, but during a hot mic moment, she was talking about Meredith's marriage, her house, like basically everything about her. She called her a whore who fucked half of New York. And I'm just like, oh,
wow.
It's insane. But Jen Shaw actually repeated the same thing, but she was very specific about it. She said that Meredith fucked half of the Upper East Side. So my whole thing is that,
first of all, it's no one's business who you do when you don't sleep with. And secondly, that's her body, her choice.
And I would understand if they were talking about this and she was, okay, because she's married to Seth, but they were separated during a time. So there was a clear date of separation. So why is this such an issue if she was separated from her husband and they both dated other people? Why keep bringing that up?
We live in a world where even women ourselves can be sexist towards other women, and like we do our own thing, but the next we'll look at someone else and be like, oh, they're doing this, and it's like, look in the damn mirror. You have had your moments too. I just think a lot of these people aren't self-reflective. I think that's what it boils down to, and a lot of these people are hypocrites, because if they were to have a trailer of their life panned out to them, it probably wouldn't it'd probably be as trashy as the next, So.
Exactly. And that's what Meredith was saying when she stormed out at the end of the episode. She stormed out about saying like, oh, well, I'll bring up, who everyone has dated, who no one knows about. So I was like, wait, hold on now.
I need you to stop right there.
Don't spill my tea now.
Right.
Like, okay.
Let's chill first.
Yeah, like that scared me. It's like, wait.
I'm gonna need you to relax.
What does she know? What does Meredith know? Because she also did the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City after show. And she was like, well, I could talk about these ladies' marriages. And like, she was dead silent right after it. And I'm like, what does Meredith know? What have y'all been doing? Like,
wow.
Meredith, if you would like to come on and tell the Black people what they've done, let us know.
Listen.
Cool.
If you even want to tell us in secrecy, like,
yeah, I wouldn't tell a soul. DM us.
I'll listen.
DM out private. DM out private. It's on our profile, child.
She can literally go in invisible mode. Like, let me know.
She can literally see it say red and then unsend it.
I dare you.
Please.
Okay, so we always give out like a VIP of the season. Aaron, who is your VIP of this season of Salt Lake City? And also, what do you rate it out of 10?
Okay, so my MVP is definitely going to be Lisa Barlow. And I feel like we have the same MVP.
Don't call me out.
Because Lisa's just great. Like, I don't know. And even though I don't necessarily like the fact that she said what she said about someone that she considered her friend, like, it was a scene. And I'm just going to say that. It was
good TV. It will go down in history.
It definitely.
Because it's not only like what she said, it was like the venom in her voice.
And the fact that Lisa said that, like, I would never think that Lisa, of all people, would say that. So that was very shocking.
Thing is it even a hot mic moment? Because She said all that shit. Then she opens the door and she's like, now you can have the mic back. So you knew that you had the mic. So I'm not sure that this is a hot mic moment because you gave the mic back after you was talking that Cash Money shit.
Well, it was hot because she said what she needed to say and then she gave it back.
That's called calculation.
And she does very well. And I just,
you know, I have to watch this. I only know snippets and bits and pieces from all the Bravo sites. So I just
need to watch it. You need to like.
Maybe I have like a few hours before I go to bed. Maybe I'll start watching tonight. Which one am I watching? Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. They're in Utah. You would think that it is boring as hell, but it's not. Because we have Utah. They are huge. I'm like, all y'all have is like snow and mooses out there. Like,
and I love that shit. Like, I don't know.
Remember Lisa, when we had Lisa on and she invited us to Sundance. So whenever they do Sundance again,
that's why we're like the Sundance.
Oh, you had her on there? You had Lisa on there?
She was one of like the first. She was the second housewife to agree to do our podcast.
And like, I like her more now.
Yeah, I felt like that was good because she wasn't one of the people who were like, "Oh, you have to go through my people, and then I'll, be on." Like she literally DM'd and she was like, "I'll do it." Yeah, like. So I'm like, we really appreciate that because we're not on a network. We do this independently. So she made it her business to not only come on here, talk about the show, talk about her real life, but then she also sent us a lot of her products. Like she had hair products with Nikki Bella and Brie Bella, like a company. So she's just a really nice person, like outside of the show.
And that's another reason she's MVP.
That's why she's my MVP.
All that up. Yeah,
exactly.
That's another.
But if I had to pick a runner-up, it would be, and this is controversial, it would be Mary Cosby. Because I know that she was problematic, but she apologized. She apologized. And I think that like you're watching someone who has been through a lot of trauma who also lives in their own world. She married her grandfather.
Wait, what?
Like her she married her step grandfather. Like when her grandmother died.
Gabby's like, I don't know if I've watched this show anymore.
When her grandmother died, it was written that she had to marry her grandmother's husband.
That was in the will?
That's what they say, Joe. So she
they married together?
Her step grandfather. They're married. They're married. They had a kid. No. Step grandfather. I know it doesn't make it any better, but it's her step grandfather. Yes. And I'm just like, well, if you marry your step grandfather and you are like a member of the church and you have gone through all of these traumatic things.
Oh, wait, what is it? They're Mormon.
No, she is actually, is that Protestant? Those people that be yelling and shouting and screaming. It's like a branch of Christianity, but I think that she's Protestant. No. And like she's the head of the church. And she's just not on this planet. When she talks, you can get that she doesn't understand certain things. She's in her own world.
So she lives in Victoria.
Yes, she's her own like being.
Literally.
So also the way that she handled with everything coming at her, the accusations about her church, people, making fun of the fact that she married her step grandfather, dealing with COVID and her, her son growing up and getting out of the house and stuff like that. She is definitely my second MVP because yes, what she said was ignorant about, Jenny's eye shape and mocking her in the Asian accent and things like that. Yeah, that was ignorant, but she was willing to listen and learn and apologize. Yeah. Whereas Jenny not only went online, shared all these things, accepted responsibility for that, but then she lied and said it was a social media manager and then had a Black person in front of her just to say that she's not racist and then doubled down that she supports the police and all of this shit. And I'm like, you can support the police, but you can't believe that Black people should die because they didn't follow orders. Like, I'm sorry. Straight to hell. Like, there's a difference between that. It's not about Republican, which she was like, I'm a proud Republican. It's about human.
Because so much in how do I say it? Hypocritical to her to say, you know, like following directions. You know how many white people get into deep shit? Obviously, it's not like publicized, but then it's like, well, you're talking about, what is it? Is her husband white, right?
Jenny, no, he's Asian. Both of them are Asian.
Oh, at least she's staying in her lane.
But at the end of the day, it's like people follow directions and they still get killed. Yeah. Period.
That's just gross. That's just gross.
Yeah. It's just, and there was a lot of other things too.
You go through, there's like, you know, the Asian Lives Matter movement and things like that, and I'm a huge supporter of that. But how dare you look down on another race going through battles when your own culture is going through battles too?
And she had the nerve to be on those little infomercials talking about hashtag stop Asian hate. It's like, okay, we want to stop Asian hate. Can you also stop Black hate? Yeah. Like,
please
we help each other out?
I don't think there's anything wrong with supporting another genre or like another group. But that's just gross. Well, we don't like her. So.
But yeah, she's fired, so she can just go to unemployment line. Maybe she'll get a job at Fox News. Maybe she won't. She can just go wherever the hell Kelly Dodd is. Irrelevant. So Salt Lake City, I would rate it maybe. I feel like it was a good, even though it was a long ass season, it had its good moments to where I can rate it a good 7 out of 10. What about you, Aaron?
I was gonna say it 7. I'd say 7, just because it would have been a 6. But that hot mic take from Lisa brought it up to 7 for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also Jen Shaw talking to her lawyer and asking if she's going to have to hire Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. And Jen would definitely
like
be third
she's
in
not
line
like it's she doesn't understand how serious this is. Yeah. And I won't say that the trailer got me super excited for the reunion. It's a subpar trailer, but I'm hoping that we get tidbits of things that we haven't seen on the show, and we get some tea from the show. And also, Lisa's literally walking out again on the trailer for
she can't take it
for the reunion, because she tells them, she's telling producers, "Oh, you guys know what you did. You did that on purpose." Blah blah blah. So I don't know if she's gonna like leave, but it's going to be a decent reunion. It does not need 3 parts. That's what I will say. I don't know why we're spreading it out to 3 weeks.
Really needs 3 parts, unless this is like first season of Housewives of Atlanta. We don't need 3
like
parts.
The good old days.
Like the good old days.
3.
When they were doing the most, like everybody was doing the most. Then but we don't need that.
We really don't. Well, the last thing I do want to talk about is Summer House. Did you see the latest episode?
Mm-hmm. Wait, this one Monday?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't watch it.
But did you see the one from last week?
Here and Maya, but I didn't watch. I've heard about what happened.
Okay, Aaron, are you updated?
No, I didn't see that.
I know about it because my 2 best friends still watch it because they're my housemates. So.
Okay, cool. Well, we can just talk about that show because we didn't really mention it on here. Yeah. But like that was I cannot say how good that episode was produced, because we did see, and even our commentators saw some parallels between you and Maya. It's like these 2 people who are in the house who's trying to mingle with these people who are predominantly white. And you guys seem like a little bit introverted, but not even introverted, just like off-put, because you were in Vermont and she's in Montauk with a bunch of white people. And then on top of that, with Maya, it was like Andrea got her name wrong multiple times.
Okay, yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, that was the one from last week. Andrea got her name wrong multiple times. She's literally been the person who, like, the first night or the first party that they had, she cleaned up the whole fucking kitchen.
That's like, what I did every single morning. I never got to thank you.
It's like, if y'all are cleaning
kitchens, that's a big ass kitchen, and they were making a mess.
Yeah,
because Kyle's ass was like eating with spatulas and shit.
He's known for eating with spatulas. That's his thing. I mean, the first episode of Winter, like our first night, Kyle was eating with spatulas.
Yes.
I don't go down in my house. My mom would be mad. Well, anyways,
girl.
Exactly. But she did a lot to be not to be seen, but just to be herself and to try to mix in with the Summer House cast to get to know everyone. Opened up about her divorce. Opened up about who she was. Well, was it a divorce or an engagement? Yeah, an engagement. Her ex opened up about who she was dating. Who he was on Top Chef on Bravo. And she just reached her breaking point. So she had a moment with Sierra when they were at the beach because Andrea got her name wrong again. And she's just like, yo, I'm with like all of these white people. We are the only, Danielle's a person of color, but we are the only two Black girls here. And it's like, my name is Maya. Like you can at the very least get my name right. And this is like the third weekend that we're here. Right. So I can understand like her frustration. And I love that Sierra was able to relate to her in that way. And it's nothing like having another person who knows exactly like what you're going through.
It's nice to have someone see you,
Yeah, someone to see you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because as much as white people can say that, they sympathize, they will never truly like understand.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was good to see that moment of, just raw, I feel so out of place. And even though like I know that he didn't mean to do this on purpose, this is something that happens to me all the time. Mm-hmm. And like not only do me and Aaron relate, but I just also relate to being like too Black for the white kids, but then too white for the Black kids. Like you talk like a white girl, you act like a white girl, you have white girl interests. And it's just like so many things within our community. And then we have to deal with being outcast from other communities, like, so it was just so much on her plate that she reached a boiling point. Yeah. And we got the raw conversation between those two at the beach, but then they didn't just keep it between them. They actually gathered everyone who was at the house except Carl, because Carl wasn't there. But they, on the second episode, which they showed on Monday, she did catch him up about it. But they gathered everyone, and it was in a way that obviously this is produced, but this is a natural conversation that I would have in that house about like, guys, I'm just feeling away because I've been here X amount of days. I've done this, that, I've tried to fit in with you guys, and I'm just feeling not seen. Like we have to deal with these things. And just the way that she explained it, the way Sierra got emotional and they leaned on each other, and the cast was not defensive. They were listening to understand instead of listening to respond, was a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah.
No, I'm happy that they got to experience that.
But did you relate to Maya's experience? Because people in the comments were like, I wish that Gabby was able to, do this kind of same thing, because we noticed that you were kind of, not in your room most of the time. And people might think that it's just because of the argument between you and Julia, but you were also a Black woman in a cast of like predominantly white people.
I spoke about it. It didn't in my confessionals. It didn't make the cut. When I did, like, the girls here and there did try to make me feel seen. I think the part, like, I'm so proud that they got that moment. I know my circumstances was different. I came in with a white friend. And I felt like my friend stripped me of having my own emotions, because when I said that I felt alone, and everyone knows I said I felt alone, I was told, I'm sick of you saying that you feel so alone. And it's like, you're supposed to be my friend. You're supposed to make me feel welcome. You're not even doing that. So I have nobody in this house. And the people that I am connecting with, I can't connect with, because then the girls are gonna think that I want their guy, and that was never the. I just wanted one friend, and I didn't get a friend. Um, and you know, Sierra and I had some good talks here and there, and I mean, they never caught it. But you know, Sierra and I did see each other in many moments. It would have been nice to get something like that, but I will never take away from another Black girl getting that. So I'm happy someone did. I do wish that my situation was different and I could have been seen, but maybe this was for someone else too. Like, I will be okay. Maybe she needed this more than I did.
And that's a beautiful way to
Okay.
look at it.
I'm happy she gets to now feel the love and embracing somebody, you know. So.
Yeah. And I think that's a beautiful way to look at it, instead of like being bitter about, oh, I wish they would have did this with me. It's like, you know, I do wish they would have did this with me, but thank God that it's not slipping under the rug. They did it with someone else also, who's another Black woman. So that's a great, you know, attitude that you have there, because at the end of the day, you don't even know what could have happened, because you said that you did speak about it in your confessional. Maybe they could have taken a mental note from that and was like, oh, we're going to have another Black girl on next season. Maybe, you know, we'll know how to handle that and know how to organically put that in.
I think so. You know, maybe, I guess, you know, but I guess the part that sucks is, as I say, as a biracial girl, and I am very fair skinned, I feel like communities on both ends, not always, but I'm stripped of having a voice more so because of my fair skin. And maybe it's better coming out of this other girl's mouth, but I should still have a voice, and I should still be able to speak about, just because I have maybe a different privilege over my Black community, I still want to speak about and speak out about representing my people, because I have that voice, which means a lot more people would listen. But either way, I'm happy they got the love that they needed, and America needed to see something like that in its time. So that's
Amen. Mm-hmm. It was time. And I think that the way that it was received was just such a dramatic parallel to the way that the housewives receive it, because we've seen it talked about on New York and terribly.
I think that was a beautiful, you know, also, I think the way that it just was, I think the way that went around, you know, sitting everyone down, I think that's probably definitely why it got to be seen. But it also shows everyone in that house was coming from, there's more interracial people, there's more different walks of life in that house compared to ours. And you got to hear different perspectives of what each individual deals with. You had an Asian and white guy, you had a Latina, you have two Black girls, you know, you get to see the different perspectives of the pain that everyone gets to endure. And it's nice because, you know, it's everyone coming together saying, you know, there's a lot of pain that goes on in America, and it's something that we can't ignore because these are our friends, you know, we can't be there for our friends. So
exactly. And even Kyle, like, it's not that he surprised me, because
I'm happy. I was gonna say that.
The way that he was just like, you know what, if you're uncomfortable, then I should be uncomfortable too. And I'm like, that's exactly how we need to approach things. You know?
When I talk about and I stick up for Kyle, when people have these different, I see Kyle in a different light, because he was the one to really talk to me and have like really intense conversations. And Kyle and I got into it when I first walked in. We got it. And so it's like, but he actually is a very caring person. And people don't always get to see that. And so that, honestly, I'm happy that everyone else gets to see the person that I
different
side. So
yeah, a different side. I think that he was, you know, really good at that.
To say, and Luke's side comment was ridiculous, but I like how he stepped up and cleaned it, but he polished the conversation to go back on track, and it was neatly, nicely done. So
yeah, and a fun fact is that it was actually, that scene was produced by a Black woman. So I think that made it even such a difference.
Yeah, we didn't have that, so that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that definitely.
I'm not going to say her name. I don't know if I'm allowed to say her name, but just know that it was produced by a Black woman. Awesome. And I think that is, she's also married to a white man. So it was just like, she gets it.
Yeah.
So it was just so good to see. But I'm proud of the Summer House crew. I think they're having an amazing season.
They're maturing here and there. I think I see some mature. I mean, obviously, still degenerates, but I think they're maturing in many ways. You know.
I think that's the difference between like the Vanderpump Rules crew and like the Summer House crew. Is like the Summer House crew, like, yeah, they get it wrong sometimes, but they are trying to be better people at the end of the day. Like they're trying to be better people at the end of the day. They're trying to grow and learn at the end of the day. Everyone but Craig, because I still don't fuck with Craig. But the rest of them, I definitely fuck with and appreciate them. And I just, you know, at first I could not connect with Summer House in general because I'm just like, these are which white people going to vacation in Montauk. I am from South Florida. You know, we're both from, like, we came a long way. Let's just say it like that. So it's like, I could never relate to these people. And to see how they, you know, receive that, it was just so good to see it, and something that we needed on the show, on Bravo, and just in life in general.
I mean, I think it hit so many different, it went extremely broad. It hit so many people that don't even watch it saw that, and it was a very unique, special moment.
Exactly. Aaron, would you like to add anything to it?
Yeah, in conclusion, give Gabby another season because I still stand on what I said. I want to see Gabby back in the Summer House or the Winter House. Maybe it's time to switch it up. So I'll recommend the Summer House because I know you want to feel the sun. You want something different this time around.
I do. I would like that.
Yeah, so the Summer House, y'all.
Oh, thanks,
well, thank you for talking with us on Bravo While Black, and we want you to stay with us to go to the Patreon. So we're going to wrap the episode of Bravo While Black up. Please let the people know where they can find you on, is it Instagram, Twitter, whatever social medias you have, and if you have any projects coming up that you want people to look out for, let the people know, child.
Well, stay tuned for a couple films coming out within the next year, 2 years. And my Instagram is Gabrielle Kniery. It's Gabrielle, Kniery. I have a lot of projects. Can't really share them legally, but Gabby's not done.
Be on the lookout for Gabby.
Y'all. Gabby is not done. So stay tuned. And thank you so much again, like, for coming and being on. We love having conversations like this. They're so necessary. And we just thank you.
And also, I just feel like, you know, it was about time because we've been chatting with you for the longest time. And it's Black History Month. So this whole month we had Black guests on. So it was just important to, you know, get this done finally. And please, people, if you are listening, rate us 5 stars and definitely subscribe to our Patreon because that's where we get into some
Patreon.com/Bravo While Black. Sign up for that and get some content. We're talking Euphoria, Jocelyn's Cabaret, probably Bel Air soon. So check that out.
Check it out, people. And we love you. And we'll be back next week. Happy Black History Month.
Bye.
Black History Month. Thank you, guys.